who Jefferson, Madison, Washington are. How sad. How sad. So they don't know who they are, so they completely forgot what they did. Most importantly, and it's right there for everybody to see, if we don't turn this thing around really quickly, we will leave to our kids and our grandkids a way of life they will never, ever forget us for. We're better than this. We have to grow up. Ooh, there are those words again. It's going to take courage. It's up to us. Final thing I wrote on my RV. And I am a happy-go-lucky Irish Catholic kid who usually smiles all the time. The final words on my RV are, we don't have much time. We don't have much time. Now, if you don't believe that in your heart and in your bones, we're going to lose. Because Barack Obama and Tammy Duckworth and the other side, they know exactly what's at stake. Do we have an election? Do we have two to save this thing for our kids? I don't know. But we don't have much time. That I do know. And that's why November 6th is so important. Let's stop there. John, let's open this up to thoughts and questions. Everybody, say hello to John Karras. He's got the microphone. Remember our only rule. Respect every opinion in the room. Open it up, John. Who's got something to say? Right here.
I'd like to urge everyone in this room to see the movie 2016. It's a documentary about Obama. And I charge you, each one, before you vote in November, to see this movie, 2016. Right now, it's at the Streets of Woodfield, the Lowe's Theaters, and it's at just a couple other theaters in the area.
Vargas on Lake Street.
Vargas on Lake Street. Anybody know? Deer Park. Okay. It's very, very good, and it's documented. Documented. I mean, there's proof. Documentation. So I very strongly urge every one of you to see that movie.
Thank you. Thank you. Very little talk in the media. It's doing pretty well at the box office, isn't it? Let me make one quick point. I've said a lot of things about President Obama. You may disagree with a lot of what I've said. Just let me say what I've said before. The country, almost 4 years ago, elected someone who was never ready to be president. Never. I think most of the country now gets that, and privately, there are a lot of Democrats in Washington who understand that as well. Here's what's important though. Heaven forbid if he's able to win again. If he's able to win again, we can't give him a Democratic Congress that will provide no check on what he wants to do. So even if there's part of you that says, you know, Obama, not a bad guy. He's trying, yeah, I think I like him personally. This Romney doesn't seem like a real genuine guy. I think I'll give Obama another 4 years. Oh, that's fine. Well, that's not fine in my book. But don't give him Nancy Pelosi as your speaker again. The country won't recover. I think even most people in the middle get that if Obama's back there, there's got to be a check on what he wants to do. And the only check are these Republicans in Congress. Next. Did you raise your hand?
Yes, I did.
Hold on. Use the mic. Use the mic.
All I want to ask you is, when do your 6 years? You said you're only going to do this for 6 years, and I'm wondering what's going to happen.
When did it start?
Yeah.
Sounds like a trick question. I am finishing my first term, so if I'm fortunate and I win on November 6th, I could only serve 4 more years. Yes, and look, I can see why Republicans and Democrats stay there forever. Because you're treated like royalty. You wear that fancy coat with the nice pin, and you begin to think you're really special. It pays well. The benefits are great, though, sorry, sweetie, we turned down the benefits. Nothing means more to me than to not break that pledge. You may disagree with me. And I know a lot of people who think like I do, who disagree with me on term limits, and I didn't always support term limits. Madison, Jefferson, Washington, and all the rest of them. You see, they believed that you could pluck anybody up off the farm, send them, put them on a horse. Thank God I live today, because I'm not a real big on horses. Send them off to Washington. It's a sacrifice. You go there to sacrifice, not to enrich yourself. And most importantly, our founders believed you're there for a limited amount of time. Then you come back home, and I'm grabbing you. And it's your turn to serve your country. That's what our founders envisioned. We are miles away from that, and Republicans and Democrats have taken us away from that. So, yes, right up here, John, front row. By the way, this is called the Walsh Town Hall Diet.
How do you fight the big money and lobbying in Washington?
How do I fight the big money and lobbyists in Washington? Well, I've got sort of a contrarian view on this. And I'm sure Ms. Duckworth will use this against me. But she's probably out raising money somewhere today. I don't necessarily think money's the problem. I think we need to elect good people. Look, I have to raise at least $2 to $3 million this campaign to compete with Duckworth. The most a lobbyist can give me is $5,000. If I'm going to let $5,000 influence me, I really don't deserve to be in Congress. And remember, our founders understood how important special interest groups were. They didn't call them lobbyists back then. They called them special interest groups. It was a way that all of us, especially the little guy, could petition their government. So you got a group of dog owners in Elk Grove Village. They can form a special interest group, a PAC. They can lobby their government. Hats off to them. That's the way it should be. Teachers can form lobbying groups. Unions, corporations. You need politicians who won't be influenced by this stuff. But here's another way it works, guys. I'm a big gun guy, okay? Gun control groups don't come to me to try to lobby me. I think the teachers' unions, not teachers, I just want to make sure so that when this is up on YouTube this week, nobody's confused. I love teachers. The teachers' union is one of the biggest obstacles toward improving our schools in this country, and I believe that, and I say that a lot. They're never going to come try to lobby me. The people that lobby and try to educate me tend to already believe in the things I believe in. And that's generally how it works. Money's not necessarily the problem. The problem is politicians who let themselves get too easily swayed by any interest group. Thoughts, issues, questions about anything? Right here.
First of all, thank you so much for being here again.
Thank you for being here. Do you know how boring this would be if this was just me, John, Barb, and my wife Lee? That'd be terrible. So thank you for coming out.
Okay. How do you like being in the company of IL-08 under the Susan Presto super company?
Alan West is a great guy and a great freshman. He's a wonderful colleague. And he's under attack by a lot of the same liberal groups that are attacking me. I don't mind it. Again, I generally believe in a pretty free, unrestricted political environment where liberal groups can go after me and conservative groups can go after my opponent. Generally, I think that's pretty healthy. It can make life tough, though, because you're always getting attacked. Yeah, I know, but so much of what we read on the internet, hey, the internet's a great thing, but we all need to be wise. See, what I worry about is, I worry that we're not as informed as we need to be. I worry that too many of us just watch Fox News, or too many of us just watch MSNBC. I don't think you learn anything when you do that. I know during the course of my day, look, I've been on TV a lot. I go on MSNBC, CNN, ABC, a lot more than I go on Fox. I find it more interesting. I find it more enjoyable. I'd be bored to tears if every minute of every day I talked to people who agree with me. So one plea I'll make to every voter, man, don't just talk to or read things you agree with. Hey, here's the other point. Here's the other point. And I'm going to say this with a smile. We are at war in this country. We're at war. I'm trying to smile. To win this war, you got to be informed. You got to know what the other side is doing and thinking. It's simple, guys. This is so easy. Who's at war? Here's who's at war. Two visions of America. Two visions. One vision is the Obama vision. It's the Democratic vision. It's what Duckworth believes in. It's what too many Republicans have bought into. And it's the vision that says, I want a big, big government. I'm going to make $1. I'm going to give most of that money to government. And I'm going to have government control everything. And I'm going to have government take care of all of our problems. That's one vision of America. The other vision of America is a freedom-based vision. It says that $1 I make, God loved me, that's my money, I'm just going to give a real little bit of it to government. And then I am going to be free to live my life, and I am responsible for my life. That's the original vision this country was founded upon. And you want to know what's happened? And it didn't start with Obama, guys. Okay? This has been going on. We've been moving from Freedom America to Government Control America for over 100 years. And now we're firmly here in Government Control America. Now, two things about the America we live in right now. One is really crystal clear. We can't afford this government-controlled America. We will be bankrupt. Do you know there's a senator from the state of Oklahoma named Tom Coburn who wrote a book called The Debt Bond? And he said within 6 to 8 years, think about this, within 6 to 8 years, your government, our government, will only have enough money to do 3 things. Take care of our Medicare obligations while it's still around. Take care of our Social Security obligations and pay the interest on our debt. That's it. Now, he could be off by a year or 2 or 3, but how frightening. So this new government control America, we can't afford it. That's pretty scary. But here's what I find even scarier. That's hard to say. Scarier. In the freedom America, where you got to keep more of what you make, and you were free then to live your life, but the bargain was you're responsible for your life. You know what? As individuals, we were stronger. As families, we were stronger. We were more involved in our churches. We were more involved in our charities. When our neighbor down the street ran into tough times, we were more willing to jump over and take care of our neighbor. Not in today's government control America. If I had $1 for every time somebody said to me, I don't care about that, that's why I pay taxes. Government will take care of that. It's gotten us off the hook. We don't need to be as involved in our churches. Our parents, they get